Check one, check two, check three.
Good afternoon. How are you? Good, Kevin. How are you doing? I'm sorry. How are you? I'm doing well. Good. Sun came out today, so it's better. It's kind of gloomy, yes. Yeah. And if it's gonna rain, just rain. Don't you splatter. So I really could have used some rain for days. Nice again.
two members who indicated they'll be at 4:30.
No, just in the meeting, Jim, so.
The gym should be at
Richard.
Richard, I think he was. Back. Someone wrote about it. Did not.
I heard about last, I thought we on the road about the license.
Yes.
Okay, good seeing you. Take care.
Well, 81. We did the vote. I was wondering. Yeah, no. If it's all video, if it's all. It's still doing.
We're just getting it.
There's something for. Particularly like. We got people here working.
Okay.
Oh, I was thinking, we eat all three. Okay.
Oh. Place. That's what we're just talking about.
And a parking space. I have enough quarters to cover me for an hour.
So,
I can't bring myself.
Oh,
It's 30 mission.
yeah, and I thought, okay, I'll do it, and then there was a, they got hacked.
No.
Well, this has been a few years ago, right? A couple of years after, I thought, no, I'll just delete it, I'm done. No. So I went to the garage.
That's a good idea.
No, it's covered.
Yeah, I mean, it's then cheaper with the hand that comes. You know, you never know.
Mhm. Right, yeah, yeah. Mhm. Wow.
I want to get over the economics of the community downtown are not the.
Oh. We'll host more Big Ten events.
Exactly.
Oh, it's got.
Yeah. Brings.
Oh, yeah. Coast to coast.
Still trying to figure out. Are we still gonna do
Yeah,
it's great.
I know why. Yeah.
It's good.
Oh, yeah. Well, even when you get to the streaming game and whatever plays out there, it's volume at that point because Portland and Seattle. Anyway.
Just generating. Basically, there.
Jim, just so you know, Iris is on her way. We should be starting fairly soon.
It's Richard not coming.
Richard said last week, I saw him. Yeah, because he's.
But I know we've done some things.
I haven't tried to climb the stairs. Usually I park right up here, but I saw the other one down here and I.
Yeah.
Oh. No, I have to get back. Oh, just like.
Oh, yeah.
Is Richard coming?
I do not believe so.
I can't remember what he said last time.
He had a trip here, business trip. Came back last night or something.
Yeah. Oh, well, we can manage without. I see. Mr. Shelton is here.
Yeah.
Who's VP? Me?
I thought it was Jim.
What?
I thought it was Jim, but it's,
Jim is vice president. Jim, are you vice president?
I don't know. I thought I was secretary, but I don't remember.
Yes, I think you definitely were secretary.
okay, well then, Iris, you're probably vice president. Or,
Well, I think that's all we're gonna have. We ought to start with
yes, I
what
think
we
we,
got. So if people can hear me, I can hardly hear anybody else, but I have hearing aids in, so should be okay, right?
should be.
Matter of fact, I heard you calling. You called me and I got it on my ear. Oh, is that for you? Okay, I need a pen. Randy, are you ready? Are you ready?
ready.
Ready?
Okay,
Ready?
yeah, I'll go ahead and get started. And I don't know if I'm chair or not, but I'll take charge.
Go for it.
Are you?
Go for it. Yours. Let on yours.
Well, Chip says he's secretary, and I know that's true, but I forgot the rest of it.
Okay.
Okay, mind you, get a roll call, Jeff, please.
Commissioner Kiesling,
Here,
Commissioner Cassidy,
Present.
Commissioner McCarty,
Here.
Commissioner Shelton.
Here,
So.
Ms. Martin is not here, right?
Yeah, Commissioner Martin is not here. We will know for the record that Commissioner Shelton is here virtually.
By virtual, yeah, right, okay, that's good. And I guess the order of business is the first thing we're doing is getting a presentation. Do we have any other business before we get the presentation?
No, I think we always do the presentation first.
Okay, well, let's get started with the presentation from RBB Community School. Sorry, folks, that I was late. Between traffic and everything else.
Okay, good to see you.
Same here, I'm glad you're here.
Pleasure.
Glad you're here too.
Yeah, it's good to see Olivia down here.
This is such exciting stuff that you're doing. I can hardly wait to hear what's.
Well, we've
where
had
you
some
are now.
changes.
You really?
Yeah.
Yes, you have. I read through it.
First of all,
Please
this is-
introduce yourselves first.
Yes, we're going to do that a little bit, if that's okay.
That's okay.
But I am Jerry Sanders. I'm superintendent at Richland Bean Blossom Community School Corporation. And this is Jennifer Baird, and we'll just go ahead and get started.
Please do.
With sometimes with change, we're able to take a different focus and renew ourselves. And so over the summer, Jamie Miller, who you might all remember, went on to be an assistant principal of Bloomington South.
Wow.
And she's been working at that for a while now, and we've encouraged her to get into the principalship. And so congratulations to her.
Absolutely.
We will miss her, and she did a lot of great work for RBB. However, when I found out Jamie was leaving, only one person came to mind who could take over directing our Ready Schools initiative, and that is Jennifer Barrett. And Jennifer has been the principal at Edgewood Intermediate School for how many years?
9 years.
9 years.
Wow. So you know what it's all about.
I do. Yes, very much so.
And I've noticed Jennifer really has that ability to lead corporation wide. And so in fact, this past year, I was looking for ways to get her involved with the entire corporation. She led our math curriculum work this year and did a fantastic job. So we're really excited to have Jennifer on board. And we have, I just wanted to, in the, everybody has a handout there,
Yeah.
but on this back of the first page, kind of shows our entire team. Mariah Bruce, who is, and John Kerr, they are the Ready Schools instructional coaches at the primary and intermediate schools. And also Megan Scott, who's the Ready Schools instructional coach at Edgewood Junior High School, and they're going to come up and talk here in a few minutes. We also added a new face at the junior high. Ken Greil is going to be our new Edge Media teacher and coordinator, and he's going to really do some fantastic things for us at the junior high. And besides Jennifer at the high school, we'll have Lisa Wilson, who's our Innovative Learning Center coordinator, Stacia Myers, who is one of our teachers, a business teacher, who's leading our coffee corral and student-run business. Brittany Tucker. Brittany has been our marketing coordinator. The thing that happened with Brittany is that she's gone out into the schools to take pictures and to look and see what's going on so she can share that with the community. She fell in love with teaching. So yeah, so she's doing her student teaching this year, and then she'll be teaching marketing class and also leading our internship program. So one of our changes is, as Brittany moves into that role, then we're going to start involving our students in the marketing of the school corporation.
Right.
Yeah, so I think that'll be pretty exciting. The next page here, just you've seen this before at the bottom of the back of the first page, and it just kind of gives you a reminder of where we've been with Ready Schools. Started out with STEM. In fact, Jennifer Barrett is the one person who went to one of our school board members and said, you know, we really ought to start thinking about STEM instruction and experiences. And so she got the ball rolling there. And it just kind of shows where we've gone from the very beginning to STEM certification at EPS and EIS, and our partnership with ROI, and which led to a year of planning and developing the Ready Schools model. We've received STEM certification at Edgewood Junior High School not too long ago, and we really started to do some great things, not only in our STEAM labs at the elementary school, the design lab at the junior high, the Innovative Learning Center, and all these folks behind me are going to talk about that. On the second page is where I want to introduce a couple of our folks. Oops, I knew I was going to do that. I skipped a section. So Jennifer Barrett's going to talk about what our plans are for 23-24.
Okay,
Good afternoon. Thank you for having us here. We're so excited to share with you guys. Not
Pull
only
your mic down a little
a
bit.
little more,
Thank you.
not only where we've been, but where we're going. And, you know, this has definitely come full circle for me. 7 years ago, believe it or not, I actually sat in this exact same room in front of the commissioners when we presented our plan to you for a STEM initiative at Edgewood Schools. I'll be honest, at the time, we had no idea what this would grow into. We were really thinking, how can we integrate, you know, more science, more technology into our classrooms? And it started out small. It started out with tapping Jamie Miller on the shoulder and saying, will you be our first STEM coach? And Jamie Miller is a STEM coach, and working with individual teachers has grown into just a pre-K through 12 initiative at Edgewood. Knowing parents that have had students or have students at Edgewood, they can't escape it no matter how hard they try. It's one of those things that every single one of our students has either experienced a Project Lead the Way class, has been in a makerspace, in a design lab. Some kids are more intentional, and we're really starting to drive into their interest and help them find that pathway as they get up into the junior high and high school areas. And we're continuing to just get them into the maker space down in the elementaries and let them create and build and figure out what in the heck they want to do, not just in third grade, but maybe when they're choosing classes in seventh grade or their sophomore year, whatever that looks like. So what we're going to do next is Mariah Bruce and John Kerr are going to come up and they're going to share with you what this year looks like for our pre-K through fifth grade students. And then Megan Scott and I will come back up and we'll share with you the secondary plans.
Fantastic. You can probably stay right there and they can sit in. Hi there. Please introduce yourselves.
My name is Mariah Bruce.
Speak up because I hardly heard you.
My name is Mariah Bruce.
And I'm John Kerr.
Nice to meet you both.
Thank you.
And there she is.
We're figuring out all of our logistics. I'm Megan Scott and I am at the junior high.
Hi, Megan. I'm glad to see you again. Go ahead. Who's first?
We're going to refer to the 3 pillars that are at the bottom of that page. When thinking about innovative teaching and learning, kindergarten through fifth grade, we aim to empower and immerse our students in learning to be creators, experimenters, collaborators, and leaders when working with STEM, PBL, and PLTW units. Of course, we're working on that for all of our students, no matter what we're doing in school. When looking at the career and readiness pillar, we are currently fifth grade. We are working with the Junior Achievement BizTown program. We're partnering with them, and all of our students get to go through that simulation and work on that. It's a great program, but work on our graduate profile and readiness connections. And we are currently K through 5 building our PLTW modules, and our new math curriculum that we're using actually focuses and has a spotlight of careers, and they help to make corrections and further build schema K through 5. Then when looking at our last pillar, family and community engagement, teachers have worked with us to create various PBL units where we work with entire grade levels or small groups or clusters of classes. And we work with family members or community partners. For example, kindergarten, we had 3 classes partnering with local farm to learn about the career in farming, and they hatched eggs in their classroom. In third grade, we had all the third grade classrooms worked on, the students worked on actually creating a plan for Envision Ellisville, and we worked with local businesses to do that plan. And then the primary school hosted an earth fair. And normally when we would have the earth fair, it would be something that the kids were just able to experience all the things to help conserve our earth. But we used these 20 to 30 community partners, and we focused on career paths that help with sustainability. So we had little kindergartners excited about what they could do as their job career with sustainability. So that was nice. Now on the horizon, when thinking kindergarten through fifth grade, and what our focus is this year, is creating our units of study that deliberately use the grad profile language and practice the learning outcomes for all students. And what that looks like at the intermediate school is where we're going to help them build resumes. So the third grade through fourth and fifth are going to be tiered resumes, and it's going to help the students completely understand and know how to showcase their talents and build their competencies and reflect over their 3 years of being at the intermediate. Now at the primary school, we'll be working on the level of introducing them to all types of careers, collecting student artifacts, and demonstrating the use of their soft and their ready skills. So we're excited about that endeavor this year.
Sounds like a lot. That's for sure.
There is a lot
Okay,
happening.
well, I guess you're next.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, and I'm gonna kind of follow the same, kind of how Mariah set it up with, well, following the 3 pillars and what we're currently working on, kind of our ongoing things, and then what we have on the horizon for this year as well. So kind of similarly with what Mariah shared, PBL, project-based learning, is really our through line that we have from our K all the way through 12th grade. And it's really a focus for us at the junior high. So we support PBL, project-based learning, in our school through our teacher cohorts. So we train a new group of teachers each year. We obviously have teacher turnover. We have new teachers that are coming in. And so we typically don't ask them to get trained their very first year. It's a big deal the first year. So we give them a year, but then just as they're getting settled in, we want to make sure that all of our teachers have exposure to that. So we have kind of a train the teacher program in place with our cohorts. And then we're fortunate at the junior high to have rotational courses. So we have several STEM based and PBL based rotational courses, including our PLTW, which is our Project Lead the Way courses, and our Edge Media courses, as well as our entrepreneurship and design class. In the second pillar with the career readiness, kind of our ongoing things with that is our Edge Shop, which is our student-led business that we have at the junior high, which is something we kicked off last year and is going well. The kids are really involved and excited about that. And then just all of our career connections within our ongoing PBL units. And then with our family and community engagement, we really try to leverage our Edge Media for helping our students understand about opportunities in their school and in their community, and also hopefully beyond our walls. So similar to some of the projects that our Edge Media has done with working with showcasing the different award winners that they've done, and just some of the community partners. For our horizon goals for the innovative teaching and learning, we really want to work on growing our capability in our design lab with microelectronics. So really trying to grow some of our with our microbits and our Arduinos, helping our students embed some of that. We obviously do a lot of work with just woodworking and cardboard, and that's all great, but we want to help layer in some additional capability with that. So kind of having that as a focus this year. We are also really fortunate to partner with Junior Achievement at our level, and our students will be going to a career expo that they will be able to kind of see 8 different pathways and experience those. So it's a full day event for our 8th graders that we will be doing this September. We're really excited about that. It'll be our first one. Really trying to encourage more software certifications for our students. They're not certifications and the type of, they can take them to a job, but they get certified through us building wide on some of the software platforms that we use most. And then what I think we're most excited about on the horizon for us at the junior high is that we will be starting some STEM corporate challenges with our 8th graders this year. And we're partnering with 4 local organizations. So we're going to be partnering with IU Health, Luddy, Boston Scientific, and Crane to take on challenges that we will be partnering with them as they're developing those challenges and submitting and presenting them back to those organizations and getting feedback from them. So really just hopefully kind of upping the ante, as well as helping them understand more of a career pathway exposure for them. So that's what we got going on at the junior high.
Now you have to take a breath.
Yeah. I think I got everything now. Yeah.
Well, congratulations and questions.
Yeah.
What a wonderful program.
Yeah.
What got you to partner with JA?
So, gosh, we started exploring this last year. I feel like you all were a little earlier on. Do you want to talk about that? I feel like we kind of jumped on afterwards.
I feel like this is going to be our second year of working with them with the BizTown program. So, and that is a complete unit that I'd say we take 8 to 9 weeks to go through. It's really a 4-week unit. We stretch it out. And the kids will even, they'll once they create their resumes, they will end up using those resumes to decide what jobs they're going to interview for. There's an interview panel. And then once all that's set and the jobs are set, then we do get to go to BizTown to go through the simulations of the jobs. And it's a wonderful experience, a wonderful day. So then once they've had that experience in 5th grade, then by the time they get to 8th grade, they'll get another experience.
Yeah. So, and this one's just that single day, but they have a whole curriculum that's built around it where they do interest inventories and help the kids start thinking in preparation for this day, which is something that we really like, that it wasn't just in isolation.
Correct.
It had, and then reflection afterwards. They do a really, really nice job. So excited to see it in action for the first time this year.
Sounds like a great path forward.
Yeah.
Fantastic. One of the entities involved in the corporate challenge, did you say the Luddy? Is it
Yeah.
the Luddy School?
Yeah.
Not you. Okay, just to
yeah,
clarify. Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay.
Lucky School of
Yeah.
Informatics. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mhm. Yes. No, we're excited to see. We're very fortunate to have such supportive community partners
I
who
was
are
just
willing
gonna say, we
to.
have a lot of good partners that are in
Yeah.
the corporate. level,
Yeah.
including this gentleman over here
Yeah.
and this gentleman here.
Yeah,
Oh,
right. Congratulations to both of those. And I'm so glad to see you're working with not just those local guys, but the Crane guys that are sort of local. It's really smart thing y'all have done to partner with these kinds of folks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great things ahead down there. So
Mhm. And we have a lot of Crane families
We
in
do.
our
Yeah.
community. So
Yes, we do.
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
So when do you get to show off to the world that what you're doing later this year?
Well, we do have a STEAM showcase in May, so I'm sure that we will have some things to highlight there. But yeah, it's first time doing the STEM challenges and the junior
Sure.
kids, so I will be excited to see what comes out of it. But yes, we do, and we will be having we'll have something this fall too that we're going to be talking about what we're doing. But yes, definitely in May we'll have hopefully some things to show off.
As I get to know other people in other communities and so on. Well, we're talking about working with STEM, and I thought, well, you're a little behind the times. I don't say that, but it's a good thing, right?
Yes.
Did you want to add anything, Mike?
No, they've
They've done
been
it.
working on this. I've actually been filling in with a second grade class this week. So
Good.
we had a teacher that's pregnant that had to go in bed rest a little early. And so it's like, all right, well, we need somebody. I was like, you know what? This is the calmest time of the year, sort of. So let me help now because later I can't. So-
Yeah, I'm sure
great.
they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Thank you for coming in. We really appreciate
Thank
it.
you all.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, we have a little bit more to share. We're not going to go through all the slides here.
Jim, did you have any more questions for these people?
No, but I'm really impressed as I have been every year.
Great. Yeah.
So like I said, we're not going to go through all the slides. Usually this is like an hour-long presentation. I don't think you want to necessarily.
Which
be-
page are we on?
So let's go to skip to the budget
Okay, got
page.
it. Ready school funding?
Yeah, this is yes. So
That's rather
I just wanted you to see how the money was spent 2022, 23, and you can see that the vast majority was for our people. And I learned a long time ago that you can have the greatest programs, the greatest facilities, but what really matters is when you have talented, great people, and that's where most of
Make
the
the investment.
RDC funding goes to. So
right.
just want to thank you for that. The next few pages, I will ask or answer questions you might have, but we always want to share some data that we collect. We have a number of measurable goals that we use to monitor our effectiveness, and we survey our staff and our students to help us to see if we're on the right track and get some ideas for where we might go in the future. So one of the things I want to add and include here, and Jennifer's going to speak to this in a little bit, in a couple of different ways. But what we want to start thinking about, because we've had a lot of great success, but we want to start thinking about sustainability. And how do we make sure that all that we've invested in with Ready Schools, not only the RDC, but the grants we receive, other grants we received, the taxpayer money we get from our citizens, we want to make sure it's a long-term impact. And so Jennifer is going to her role is going to be expanded somewhat beyond Ready Schools. It's still going to involve Ready Schools, but she's going to work with teachers and leading our school corporation in curriculum assessment. And she's going to work with the teachers to make those connections in the classroom to what Ready Schools is all about. So Jennifer, you want to speak to that a little bit?
Sure, absolutely. So this is a passion of mine, and I've always told the school board if a position ever opened up with curriculum and instruction and combined all these pieces together, I was going to be their lady. So when Jerry tapped my shoulder for Ready Schools, I said, I'm on board, but there are a few other things I want to include in there. So we got to talking, and one of the pieces with Ready Schools is that as we've been building this over the last several years, some of our teachers, our community members, our parents think that Ready Schools is just about career awareness. It's just about getting kids out into the workforce or preparing them for college. And we're forgetting that there are a lot of things that make a student Edgewood ready. And so as we think about what that looks like, I'll just give you an example of a third grade student that's Edgewood ready. We're thinking about, what Mariah talked about with what she's doing and John is doing down in the makerspace. So it's not just about, that innovative teaching. It's not just about getting the kids in the makerspace to get creative and to, build and do some of these pieces that allow them to think outside of the box. It's also about making sure that they are at a reading level that they can pass iRead 3. It's also about making sure that they can add, subtract, multiply, and divide. It's also about making sure that their mental health, their social health is in good standing so that as we're asking them to collaborate with other people down the road, they have the skills and the ability to do so. So we are really looking at through the graduate profile, which you heard Mariah mention. These are things that we want students to be able to do as they move up through. We're looking at that whole picture for that student. And with Ready Schools, starting to pull that together and saying, what does that look like to be Edgewood ready? And if I'm a third grade teacher, what am I doing specifically to prepare that student for not only fourth grade, junior high and high school down the road? So I'm getting ready to speak with the primary teachers in the next week or so, and I'm going to be explaining to them Ready Schools. And the way I'm going to explain it is I'm going to take some of these seniors that we have in high school internships and ask them, how many of you had these students back in kindergarten, first and second grade? What did you do to prepare them for this? And start to tie together that the work they're doing in the primary is prepping these kids for all the success that they're going to have all the way through Edgewood. So this is the piece where we're really going to start tying all of our initiatives together. We're also partnering with Marzano. I know being here in Bloomington,
With what?
Marzano Resources. So Marzano is a researcher, educational researcher. He's done a lot of work, Robert Marzano, through his work is profited here in Bloomington with Solution Tree. So they use a lot of his work and DeFore's work, Robert DeFore. And it's one of those pieces where it really looks at what is good instruction. What do we expect when a student walks into a classroom and a teacher gets in front of them? What does good instruction look like? Well, Marzano has taken that a step further and said, not only what does good instruction look like, but what should the culture be, not only within a classroom, a building, a district, but what should that look like across your community? How should it be viewed? And so we're partnering with Marzano and we're starting through that process, which is really evaluating everything that we're doing at Edgewood and pulling those pieces together. So the first piece, level one, is going to be looking at our culture. Do we have an innovative culture? Do our families believe that that's a piece that their students are excelling in our classrooms? So this is going to be a piece that we're going to start working through this year. It's going to take time. Everything that is done well takes time. So we'll be starting level one this year, and those surveys will be going out to our families, our staff members, and our kids within the next few weeks so that we can really start to get some actionable data back, compare it to what we've done through Ready Schools prior to this, and see where we've been, where we're going, and really assess where our strengths and weaknesses lie so that we can make some great decisions moving forward and make some really nice change isn't always bad. A lot of times changes is for the good as well. So, being so far in this process, we want to make sure we're on the right track and doing the right things. And, along the way, we have to make some adjustments. So this is the perfect time to start to pull those pieces together and evaluate where we are and where we're going.
So how much you have parents involved or whoever is their caregiver?
Yeah, absolutely. So every parent in the district will be a part of those surveys to give their input back to us. We will also have a team of parents that will join a kind of a steering committee, if you will, as we're moving through these changes. We know that parent input from pre-K all the way up through is incredibly important. They see things that we don't see. So their lens is right on, and they give us input on things that we don't think about. Sometimes we just have that education lens on, and they can help open that up for us.
Right.
Jerry also is going to be starting a new venture with our business leaders. And so that also is another lens that's going to continue to drive our decision-making as we move forward.
Right. So if you want, for the sake of time, we're going to jump right to the
Next one.
page, the very last page.
Last page. Okay. I can do the last page.
So it's something we're very excited about. Really from the start of Ready Schools, we made a very good decision, and that was to start meeting with local business leaders. And sometimes they came to the Innovative Learning Center. We had those conversations. Sometimes we went right out to the work site and talked to department managers, trying to learn what local businesses were looking for in terms of future employees. And we learned a lot from that. And we also helped our local business leaders better understand how we're preparing our students, the Edgewood students, for the workforce. So we've come around enough at this point that we would like to start having those conversations again. But when we have those conversations one business at a time, it takes a while.
That's right.
So the idea was given to me by a local business leader for us to establish a business leaders advisory team that we're going to meet twice a year. And our first one is actually August 23rd, next week. We're going to have a lunch meeting. And on the back page are all the businesses that are going to be involved in that. And I don't know where this is going to go. I want it to be more than just sharing of what we're doing, and we want that guidance, but we really want those business leaders to be creative and to brainstorm together to help us to really develop something special for our community. I don't know, there might be, usually all my great ideas that I would take to Shark Tank, somebody's already thought of. So, but in terms of this partnership between education and the business world, I don't know if many school corporations and many business leaders have this kind of a partnership. And so I'm really hoping that as a collective group that they're going to be able to, with us, come up with something really special for our students. And by the way, everything we're talking about here, our enthusiasm, the programs, we're not bragging about Edgewood Schools. Well, we are, but we're bragging about, we're bragging about that because we feel like we're really making a difference in the lives of kids. And I can't wait to see our world tomorrow when these kids that are going through when going through these experiences that we have at Edgewood Schools, what they're going to be doing someday when they're leading the communities. So that Business Leaders Advisory Team is August 23rd, 11:30 at the Innovative Learning Center. If you would like to come, just let me know. The final thing is we are going to have on September 7th, what we're going to call, what we are calling the Celebrate Edgewood Showcase. And it's a community event. And we're going to have a lot of activities to hopefully attract a lot of people. We're going to have food trucks and those bounce houses and trying to get the Pacers mascot to come. We're going to have a health fair. Our show choir and bands are going to perform. We have a big volleyball and soccer game that night. That's the week where we're playing OV and everything. And so, but the whole idea about that is we want our parents and the community to come see what Edgewood schools offer, because I don't think it's matched anywhere. And so we want like our elementary parents to go visit the high school and look at the Innovative Learning Center and look at the coffee shop, the student-run business. So
Yeah, how's the coffee shop going? I talked about it the other day, but then I realized I didn't know what happened to that.
yeah, we made a really great progress last year, but this year this is going to be an actual class.
Great.
So last year they tried to make this work where the teacher and the students working in the coffee shop, they just communicated via email, talking to each other in the hallway. Now this is an actual class. And I met two of the managers of the student managers of the coffee shop today, and they are on the ball. They're sharp. They've already started working on marketing. In fact, I was so impressed, I invited them to the September school board meeting. As adults, though, sometimes we have to remind ourselves that we need to get out of the way and let students figure it out.
Let it go.
So,
Absolutely.
sometimes like with the challenges we might run into, like one time we had, when they first started taking the product into during the lunchtime, they didn't have very good sales initially. And so our director of nutrition services, being an expert in that area, she started to rattle off, well, we need to do this, we need to do that. And I said, well, that's great. You're absolutely right. But we need to let the students figure that out. That's what we have to remember, that this coffee shop, yes, we want it to be successful. We want it to be profitable. We have to remind ourselves it's a classroom.
That's
And we
right.
want the students to be learning. So we've taken a lot of your time, but we had a lot of information to share.
I hope some people listened. That's what I hope.
And I know I skipped a few slides. So Jim or anyone here, if you have any questions about that, we could ask it now or email me or give me a call. But thank you so much for being such wonderful partners. As I've said many, many times, we definitely appreciate the financial support, but more importantly, we appreciate your great questions, your guidance, and just who you are, not only for our school corporation, but for the community. So thank you.
Right, thank you. Well,
Thank you.
congratulations. Good
Yeah.
luck. Anything, more comments?
No, other than, I think this is fantastic. The advisory team's a great idea. And
Yes.
I know we had conversations about collaboration. Of course, we do collaborate with our business as well,
Right.
but that's what's needed. And Jennifer, I really appreciate your comments on the gray areas stuff, right? I mean,
We could
that's.
talk for 2 more hours
Yeah.
about what we're doing.
What you
just
said?
about-
I didn't get
I
it.
said I could talk for 2 more hours just about what we're doing,
Right, right.
in the labs alone. And we haven't talked about the high school, and it's really exciting. I mean, we're being recognized across our district, across our region. I haven't even told these guys back here yet that we just got good news yesterday that ROI is recognizing that our businesses, our student-run businesses, Edge Media and ILC Designs, are this close to just taking off, and they want to give us that additional push. And so they have awarded us digital fabrication grants, $28,000 for each one of our labs to push those forward and make sure that we get those up and off the ground. Because as you all know, running a business is not cheap on the front end. And we need that investment to keep that going. You wouldn't believe the amount of wood these kids go through. So And it is not cheap by any means. So it's going to be the last push that we need to get us over that finish line and really get these pieces up off the ground and start doing some awesome things, not just for our schools, but for our communities. So we'll give you a list of those things next time we're here, and we hope you think about us because we will become that business in the community that can take some of those projects on. So we'll be back with that.
Yeah,
Well, send
I
us-
definitely want you to see how the funds that you give to Edgewood schools, how we've used that as a seed to expand to so much more. And I've charged Jennifer with looking at some federal grants because you can see how we've expanded it from the very beginning to what we're doing now. And so that takes additional funds that we need to keep looking for. And we have some good grant writing people.
Good.
We do.
Well, keep us informed as you go along. I mean, sending us a note or a memo in between, you can send it to Jeff and we'll get
Okay.
it so that, because that's a good way for us to keep up
We
to
will.
date. Jeff?
Can I want to make two comments. One is for people who are watching this on Zoom or
Speak
watching,
up, please.
for people who are watching this on Zoom or are going to watch it later, we'll make sure we get this
Yes.
PowerPoint presentation on our website. And then from a person who works at a organization that has a lot of public safety, I noticed that the arrow is pointing the wrong way on the sheet. And I'm curious,
Who
just
did?
thinking out loud, if there's something that the county or could do to maybe help with that. I know with public safety, there's a lot of rules and a lot of regulations, but I just want to make a comment that, that's something that I look at as something that we do a lot of. And, I think there's a general trend, particularly in law enforcement, of
That's right.
less people going into that field. And I didn't know. I guess I'm just wondering if there's a way
That's
that we can
exactly
help.
why we look for the data to inform us, tell us, oh yeah, we're doing this really well, but look, we've got an area here we need to concentrate on more.
Well, keep moving forward.
Thank
Don't
you
step
so
back.
much. We sure will. Thank you.
And keep us informed too, because it's
Thank you.
really important, because we can spread the word also.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
Very good.
This investment is a small amount for the long term.
That's right.
I believe so too.
Citizens that we all want.
Absolutely. We don't want to be the best kept secret in Monroe County anymore. We just want to be the best. So
Yes.
Thank you very
Love your
much.
spirit.
Carrie?
I
thank you.
think it's great. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yes,
good
thank
to see you if you're still here.
Yeah, he's still on, I think. Yeah, he probably is.
He is.
I'm gonna stick around a little bit longer, but I'm gonna let these fine people
Let
go.
them go so they can catch up with what they have to do for today and
That
tomorrow.
sounds-
Do some homework with our own kids,
right.
get them
Yes.
ready for school
Yeah.
tomorrow. Yes.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank
Real
you.
short. Thank you.
Okay, what's next?
Well, I have the residential TIF discussion on the agenda. I think with Richard not being here.
Right.
I'm not sure we shouldn't just
we-
move
which
past that and have that at the,
You need a
as-
motion to move that forward or just.
You have any other information other than what we've had in the past?
I don't think I have anything new to
Okay.
report today.
Okay, yeah, I guess we ought to have a motion to move it to the next meeting. Is that right?
Table or table the agenda item.
Okay,
Till-
well,
yeah.
the residential TIF discussion we'll keep for the next meeting in September then, right?
Yes.
Okay. And the minutes, and I've made some corrections, but I don't know if you corrected them or not.
I did not. I think my time the last couple months has been pressed, so I'm trying to train.
Yes, you have.
I'm trying to train some staff into to doing these things. So I guess my intent is that let you guys look at it, email me feedback. I'll work with them to get them in a much more acceptable form for next month.
The one I had wasn't bad, but the thing that I had a problem with, that the items that we had as claims that we were approving in last month were not all the ones that we have in your minutes for today. And the total was correct, but not the various individual ones.
Yes, it looks like there's one missing.
Yeah, Yasmin was 5,000 instead of 1,000, I think, and I can't remember what the rest is. I saw it on the screen, but that's as far as I got. So shall we just defer this also to the next month and you can check it?
Yeah, and I would just encourage you guys to give me feedback if there's
Yeah.
things. I think we need that language clearly to 7-8
Right.
as well. So
I went by and looked at what we approved last time, and there's a couple missing. The total is correct, but the other
claims themselves
are not all the claims are correct. So I'd like to say that we put the minutes for July 19th on the next agenda for approval.
Corrections.
Yeah, and after corrections, thank you very much. Okay, let me check this off. Well, now let's look at the claims we have for today. Jeff, you want to go ahead?
we really have, it looks like we have 5, but one of those is a transfer, an in-house transfer of $20,097.60. Otherwise, we have 4 claims, one with Yasmin Stump for $2,017.50, one for American Structure Point Inc. with $3,817.20, one for Old National Wealth Management for $750. And then we added the RVB CSC Steam Spring Settlement amount of $164,033.24, and that would represent 15% of our revenue from the spring settlement.
Okay.
And the total.
15%?
Yes.
Exactly.
1.5.
Yeah.
1.5. So a total of $190,715.54, of which $20,970.60 is a transfer.
Okay,
What is the purpose of the transfer?
well, we have to legally do that. Yeah, the person who is needing, the department is needing it, can't just take it out of one bucket and put it in another bucket. We have to actually,
allocate.
we
that
have-
amount of money.
we have to not only allocate, but we also have to
This the purpose of
specifically
this.
specify what that is and where it's going. Is that pretty well it?
The purpose of this transfer, and that is correct. The purpose of this transfer, and we do this with particularly with our West Side TIF
Right.
District Fund, we have a large appropriation in the engineering and construction line.
Mhm.
And so typically when we need funding into other projects, we transfer it from that line to the others. This is actually a transfer to the STEM line so that we could make.
So we have enough in there.
Okay.
But that's basically to keep us legal and so that when people ask questions. It's just say that you're.
Right. Yeah. It's got to come from somewhere.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Just want to
Yeah.
verify
Yeah.
what it was. 'cause
Yeah.
I was
No, that's a great question. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
unsure, so always ask.
I'd
Yes.
entertain a motion for $190,000 plus.
I so moved that we approved the $190,000 plus payment.
Okay, Shellen moves and who can?
Second.
McCarty seconded. All those in favor, or do we have to call the roll?
We have to do a roll call vote.
Okay, go ahead.
Commissioner Kiesling,
Yes,
Commissioner Cassidy,
Yes.
Commissioner McCarty,
Yes.
Commissioner Shelton.
Yes,
motion passes 4-0, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay.
and I'm
now-
sorry, folks, but I have to go take care of something. So thank you.
What does Jim say? I didn't
Okay.
hear him.
Thank you, Jim.
Jim has to leave the meeting.
Okay, thanks very much for joining us, Jim. Good luck. Take care of yourself. Okay, let's, public comment. We have comment? Public comment? Yeah,
We could do it now. I was going to do it during staff comment as well.
do you want to wait till staff time that he could comment?
And they're right next to each other, so I think it's okay.
Well, it's right there,
There you
right? Okay, so what do you want him, you want to introduce and then he can come up?
Yes, and if Chief Patton wants to come up, I've been talking with Chief Patton off and on for quite a while. The West Side TIF District purchased the ladder truck for the Eltsville Fire Station. That's one's loaded on the one that's on Curry Pike. Because the West Side TIF was at that time the only area that they served that had tall enough buildings that you would need a ladder truck. I'm not sure that part of the equation has changed a whole lot. Although I do think there's probably a couple buildings out there that could be utilized for a ladder truck. So that ladder truck is pre-2000, I think it was 2006, if not before that. And so it's getting to the end of its useful life. They have supply chain issues when ordering a new vehicle. He's asked if the RDC would be able to help them purchase the next truck. I know that Ellettsville is purchasing a separate vehicle that would be housed there. And I know they're also looking at maybe some changes to some stations that they have. The initial response is, as of right now, we don't have that kind of cash flow in order to do that. So we've been working on looking at, I think the time frame of 3 to 4 years as far as if he ordered today, that's when he would expect the truck to actually be done. So he kind of wants to get in that line, but he needs to have some thought that there may be an opportunity where they get financial support to help pay for it. Talked to Lisa Ridge today, and we were talking about future projects. Her big next project is the redoing of Curry Pike, which would be done in phases. We haven't gotten very far into how that would break down, and we certainly haven't incorporated this idea into that yet. So I can't give you hey, here's how we think we can do it, but we wanted to make sure you are aware of the request. I think it's reasonable, given that we bought the first one and that we are probably their major users of the safety for that area, and that truck is quite old. So we wanted to I wanted to make sure you're aware that we're having those conversations, make sure you're comfortable with those conversations and looking at it. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to work with Lisa. We're going to look at the different payment options for that, payment over time, payment up front, depending on how much more that would cost us. We'd also look at maybe talking to the bond council and financial solutions group to see if there's not a better way to finance it. But kind of exploring all those avenues with hopefully getting them the ability to order a truck relatively soon. Does that cover everything, or?
Pretty good. I'm happy to fill in any of the blanks. Like you said, we've kind of got 5 different capital projects going, just due to the growth in and around Ellettsville as well as Richland Township. The station that's located on Curry Pike, that one is 50 years old. And when it was built, there was 1 firefighter on duty there. Starting January the 1st, there will be 4 there. So It's getting kind of cozy. So we're looking at trying to find a location to build a new station. We have had conversations with Richland Township, and they're looking at the possibility of maybe doing a bond for a station.
That makes sense.
With the town growing, they're interested in looking at a station on the west side of Ellettsville. Now, that's probably 5 to 8 years down the road, but as you well know, that's not very long. So that's a project. And then I'm looking at getting 1 new vehicle, replacing 2 existing. Richland Township is going to buy 1 of the vehicles. He's currently paying off 1. We've got about 14 months left on it. And then he's good with ordering the next one. Replacing the aerial, like he said, that was bought in 2006. Yes, that takes.
How much life is left on that one?
If the ISO rating is, as you well know, they tell you 30 years max. They like 20. After that, they start cutting your points. So instead of paying taxes, you pay insurance. It's kind of one of those.
So you could get a new one, but have that as a backup?
Correct. And that's kind of the plan.
How much are the new ones? Let's all
to replace that truck today is $2.2 million.
Yeah.
Yes. Quite expensive. And then, like I said, if you're lucky, you get 30 years out of them. I don't see a reason why you wouldn't, unless obviously a catastrophic problem or something. yes, we're looking at keeping that for a backup. And then I'm trying to find funds to come up with what they call 107-foot ladder. It's kind of the same vehicle. It's just the ladder's a little longer. The wheelbase is shorter and it's just a ladder. So that allows us to get into a lot of these access roads, alleys, residential areas. If you've seen, there's a lot of homes around the county, but a lot here in the Elso area that are basically 3 stories tall.
Right.
So that's kind of what we're looking at. And that vehicle is right at 1.8. And of course, it has the same time span.
Which would you want to have sooner than later?
Well, unfortunately, the 2.2 is the most important.
Okay, I figured that.
Yeah, that's the way it always works.
And it's time frame for delivery if you order. it.
If I order today, they're telling me 46 to 48 months if I order
Oh,
today.
I figured that.
The ladder, we're looking at 36 months. And I've checked with various manufacturers and they're all the same. That's not really any different.
Just
Yeah.
what it
Can you
takes to
get-
go through the supply chain.
Correct.
Can you get bonding for both of them?
Ellettsville's not able to because they're currently with the town hall and they're finishing up the police and fire stations, I believe, this year.
Okay,
So,
nothing there.
no.
What kind of financial commitment or response do you need from the redevelopment? Because it'll all come back to what our TIF funds are available.
Yeah. We
They're
don't have very
allocated
much
for
left.
4 years. Yeah.
Basically, I sent the sample documents to Jeff and what I checked with several manufacturers and Pierce, which is the company we traditionally buy from. We've just had good luck with them. If we sign on the dotted line, so to speak, and order today, they lock the price in today. So if there's inflation and whatnot that goes up, we're locked in. There's no money down until they start doing CAD drawings, things of that nature, start putting man hours in it. They're estimating you're looking at 12 to 14 months before they would do anything. At that point, if it was canceled, it would be a 10% charge if they charge you. He said a lot of times they're not even doing that because they have such a demand for the vehicles that more than likely fire department down the streets needing something and they can slide them right in.
Right.
So as the process goes on through ordering materials, actual starting construction, the not prepayment, but the cancel penalty increases.
So
And then, yeah, and then it's
how many vehicles do you have now?
at the station on Curry Pike, there's currently one. The one in Ellisville has
Several.
4.
Yeah.
And that's, of course, that's counting the EMS vehicle,
Right.
those kind of things. So
That's it.
that's it.
And how do you intersect with the district's fire department?
We actually work very well with them. At the first of the year, we and the council and the district board signed an MOU
Okay.
that we respond in each other's area just as if it's our own. We basically erased all the borders and whoever's closer goes. We don't care what color the truck is. So the station on Curry Pike, where to go to Quarry Lane used to be the station down at the airport.
Right.
You're looking about a 12-minute response. We're responding now and we're getting there in under 5.
Good.
By the same token, when we have to go to Whitehall at Bernal Pike, some of that area, they're there in under 5 minutes where it was taking us 10. So it's working out very well. So much so that Ellettsville covers 2 full-time firefighters at the station on Curry Pike currently. January 1, the district is going to pay 2 firefighters in there 24 hours a day. So the station, its location works out for both of us.
Right.
Just for information, our run volume has jumped up 60%
I was wondering.
from where
about
it was last year at this
that. Yeah,
time.
well, you have that much more
A lot of,
population.
yes, a lot of medical calls, a few more car accidents, just a lot more people, a lot more people.
So do you also participate in runs to the airport? When they
Yes.
need as
Mhm.
backup or whatever?
Yes, we have, like I said, the signed agreement, and then within the CAD system, the 911 system, it just happens automatically. It doesn't, it's not a call and, hey, can you come help? It just, we go.
It's there, you
Mhm.
know, that's happening.
Yes.
Cause I got involved with that one. I don't know, I don't think I was on the city council. I think I was commissioner already when I got busy dealing with a lot of that stuff. And I learned an awful lot. Well, even when I was on
Yeah.
the city council, I learned a lot because they had a couple of big trucks that they needed to open at IU and to switch over. I needed, of course, a big ladder truck for IU and so on. So I got to learn more and more about fire safety. And it's very interesting, but it's also very scary that we need to make sure we provide the vehicles and the manpower so that we can do better than otherwise. And when they came up with the district, I supported that up 100%. So
The town itself has been trying to increase our staffing. So that's kind of where they've been putting their money.
right,
And of course, the district's helping out with some of the equipment. So I have talked to Chief Diller and he's in favor of this. For the same token, is he doesn't have an aerial device around the
That's right.
Highland Village
Yeah, I was
area.
gonna ask
So
about
this
that.
is taking care of his insurance needs or, you know, that sort of thing as well.
It'll satisfy the area as a whole,
Yes.
our community. We just need to find out where we're gonna find the funds.
but I find
to
money. Yeah.
Verify that, which brings me to the question, Jeff, in regards to, as we look at financial services group in regards to what we see coming in here.
Well,
Get an idea.
keep us informed as you go along and, you know, send Jeff a note so that we know what the schedule is as for the best options that we have, especially if you have a vehicle that doesn't make it anymore. Some
Yes,
serious-
we had one breakdown last week or 2 weeks ago, and I just got it back yesterday, and that was just a little under $30,000 repair.
Yeah,
So
we know that
expensive
when you get
toys.
to equipment like that, it's always expensive, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think
And
you
if-
probably know that,
Right.
you both know that, because you both. need
It's
work.
costly.
They're costly, but they're absolutely necessary
Yeah.
and we provide the safety we need to our community.
Yeah.
So.
If by chance you're interested in seeing one, they're going to bring one of the demo units to the station on the 22nd. And
What
we're
time?
happy to let you, he's supposed to be there around 8:30 to 9 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And you're very welcome to ride in it, ride up in it.
Is that your
which-
main one?
Correct.
That's my main.
Yeah, I
And-
have a couple things that day, but I might be able to fit that in.
If you guys are, if you're interested in touring the factory, let me know. I'm happy to arrange that as well.
I would think that we are pretty sure that the factory does what it's supposed to do.
They do a very good
And-
job.
And it's meeting the.
It's in Appleton, Wisconsin, so I'm just
Oh, go ahead.
suggesting
Okay.
if you're gonna go early.
Yeah.
Winter.
It's not a January trip.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I would assume that you and your colleagues in the system
Mhm.
review that anyway to see if it's what you want, and not only the vehicle you want, but that the company who is providing the equipment does the job that you want.
Yes, they're, like I said, they've got a local repair facility in Indianapolis, so that's a big plus if
Yeah.
there's an issue getting parts or service,
Sure.
as opposed to driving it, you know, to Appleton or something.
Anything else, Jeff, on this issue?
I don't think there's anything else on this issue, although I would be interested.
Speak up, I can't hear you.
Although I would be interested though from Mr. Patton or Chief Patton. I don't-
Yes.
Either way. You know, we just had that presentation and it said their awareness of public safety positions are lower than they were a year ago. So I'm just,
Right,
and I just kind of wanted to, everything I said about the county and providing a lot of public safety jobs clearly applies to the fire department. And so I don't know if they have the same staffing turnover issues that we're seeing in other.
Other portions of the public safety.
Yes, unfortunately, it's better this year. Last year, we have 12 full-time career firefighters. And of the 12, 9 of them changed.
oh my,
A lot of them, one of them was retirement, Mike Corman.
Right.
Everybody else, they moved to other departments with more staffing, larger salaries, things like that.
So a couple years ago, the town was able to get police and firefighters, which was a big draw. That helped.
Yes.
They did increase salaries last year. It's not quite where everybody is, but it's very reasonable. And so we're slowly working on it. We are working on the staffing. Unfortunately, capital expenditures are generally easier to take care of than staffing. We have a wonderful part-time staff that helps fill in a lot of the holes when somebody's off sick or vacation. So, and then of course, the agreement with the Monroe Fire District to help.
Right.
So same thing when they have issues, we're able to provide staff for them. So it
I'm
works
glad
out.
to hear that you're all cooperating with each other, collaborating, I guess.
So yes, we have the same problems as everybody
right.
else.
Right. And I think you and, the sheriff's department, probably
Yes.
some of the
That's right.
the court staff, probation, I consider public safety, all those, it may be worth a thought on, hey, what can we do to help change that trend? Because I think they need employers who employ people in those fields in order to do their work. And so I think they're doing a great job. I think a little bit of this burden probably falls upon, your public safety agencies to kind of try to come up with ways that.
We work well with the school corporations.
Good.
And the Hoosier area Hills, Hoosier Hills Area Vocational School.
Right.
Yeah.
And we'll get a lot of the interns after they graduate the basic firefighter,
Good.
and that works out very well. So
I
they
was
can come
wondering
in.
whether
at
you
the
were getting
basic.
any through
Yes,
that.
we do. One year we might get 5, the next year it might be 1, but they are turning them out. And it's just, there's so many open positions, both in the fire and the EMS fields, that it goes quick.
Well, I supported them when I was a commissioner. I was on their advisory board. And one of the things I was hoping they were doing is training some people that could go on to help in the fire department or police or whatever. It's just great to get the young people trained. I mean, they don't want to go into some other stuff, so that's a very good job to have.
All right. If there's
Thank you for
nothing else,
coming in.
thank you.
And please keep us informed, okay?
Okay, thank you.
We're
All right.
supported. We just need to find out how the financially.
I
Make this
understand
work.
that.
Yeah.
I understand.
Just out of the air, right?
Find that tree. Let me know
Find the
where it is.
tree. Yeah.
22nd is next week, is it?
I believe
Next
that's
Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Yeah, I have something
Yeah, next
already
Tuesday,
someday,
yeah.
but I might be able to get over there. Or is it in the early in the morning, you said?
He's supposed to be there. He's coming from the Indianapolis area. He said he'd be there by 9.
Okay,
If nothing else, call me and he will wait. How's that?
that's good.
There you go.
Thank you.
All
very
right.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
See you, Kevin.
Make it happen sometime. What else do we have, Miss?
That's, Lisa could not make it tonight. She is on a
I
well-deserved.
cannot hear you.
Lisa couldn't make it tonight. She's on a well-deserved vacation. So
I have a packet of information that I found that I was going to keep for her. Bye-bye. That is it's a proposal for a public, for transportation in the county and city for 2045.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to look at it a little bit and then I'm going to give it to her because I think it was commissioned by the MPO probably, but it was for the whole county and everyone. It was kind of interesting.
When you look back.
All these things that I'm coming on is just very interesting. I said, I have to stop looking.
yeah, because
Take it rid of it or give it to somebody. I
give
can
it to somebody else. Yeah.
Stuff that has to do with planning and so.
But it's very interesting to look at and see where we started at and where it is today. Based
So
on those avenues.
what planning and zoning we've done that has gone through and that may have not happened. That kind of thing. There's an awful lot of that there. Some of it has been good, but some of it has not been very good.
Right.
I'm unhappy about one piece, but I won't go through that. Okay. Mr. McCarty, anything?
Are we on comment? How do you?
Yeah.
Sure. Great presentation, once again by Edgewood Schools, and glad we've made that investment.
Yes.
I'm seeing that up close and personal, and it's good to see. It's nice to go to Edgewood Junior High and see that it's not totally the same as it was back in the 80s.
That's right.
But they've got a really dedicated group over there, the
Sounds
staff
like
that It's something that's great. And of course, we had that back in my day too, but it's a different day. And I'm really glad that Edgewood is being as progressive as it is, because this is what it's about. Yeah. On the presentation from Kevin, I think we all agree that we're going to have to be creative in finding ways to fund new equipment for the fire departments, because we can't. It may be more difficult, really, as time goes on, for some of these developers to look at that land. And we've had fires aplenty, but I think the situation on Maui, they're so isolated, and that was just a freak windstorm that it couldn't have been helped. It's it was a beautiful town laid waste, but there was only so much that those firefighters could do. And they've had brush fires out there before. And I've been there when they've had to put them out in the middle of the night.
Really?
And delay getting into town, but and there's only one way to get into town. But it brings to mind a lot of things about infrastructure. It's not just fire, but it's also communication, electricity, and try to make it more resilient. And that's hard when you're faced with an incinerator at high winds. So I think what Kevin told us today was very informative in terms of the amount that's required to make the investment and the timeline.
Yep.
4 years.
46
around it. Yeah.
46 weeks or what, months?
46.
Well, 12 to 14 months to get within the CAD system, I think, to the design stage.
Right.
And then it's another
30.
3 years or so to get that done. And that's what we're hearing in our industry too. Even to get a bucket truck, some companies wait 3 or 4 years as well.
Right.
So it's everywhere, but
is.
it is it's a priority for these guys, but there's only so much we can do. But if we can find ways to help finance it, that will help our cause.
It's getting it into the hopper to thinking about to do it.
Right.
That's and the planning part that has to happen too, because sometimes people don't think about planning that, and then they hit the wall and they need it then, and we can't get it. So the planning is really the important part, as you only know too well, I'm sure. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm good. You guys have said it. We just need to look at how we finance things in a 3 to 4 year period, because, we're not sure where things are at the present moment. So if there's a way to identify the consistent revenue stream that we can try to pull something forward, we may not be able to do it all, but let them be assured that we are looking to help out.
That might be something that we can do.
So with that, Edgewood, as always, leads in a forefront area of the future of our community. And I appreciate everything they said and they're doing.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, motion to adjourn. Aye.
So moved.
So
Done.
we'll do that. Did we have something to sign for you?
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some with the sound. Right?
Oh, that is the divergence of me and my beautiful bride. She goes well first, and I go right.
Okay.
When they said that she got an assistant principal there.
Yeah.